Anthony Mollins. Grogeo is the name of his company. He does something interesting. Now, we don't want to get too far into the weeds on the way that it works, because some of those will probably tell you here that we kind of get you there, but only sort of. An interesting guy, an interesting thing that he's doing. So enjoy. All right, so we've got Anthony Mollins. We're checking in here in Las Vegas, Nevada, and you're behind me online to check in. You've got your family with you. We can get into that, or we won't. Whatever you want to do.
Oh, family's good.
Yeah.
Your large microphone is great.
Yeah,
it's all good.
It's all good. And then you start telling me about what you do. Like, I literally just met you like 5 minutes ago.
Checking in, and I like your suite. It's nice up here.
We have to do that because if we don't do this, then you and I are both sitting on my bed, and that's creepy.
That is creepy,
Yeah.
Especially with the size of your microphone.
Indeed.
So.
It would get, well, let's move on. So,
Definitely.
all right, so Anthony Mollins, no relation to Chris Mullins of St. John's fame.
No, the only Mullins I know named Chris is a skater, and man, he is a good skater. He does tricks that flip your lid.
Uh-huh.
He made Chris Mullin, the basketball player, look funny.
Uh-huh.
But I don't even know him because I'm a wrestling family.
Right.
My dad, he's in the Hall of Fame of wrestling.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's
yeah.
your dad's name?
Larry Mullins.
Okay.
So
What's the story there? How did that happen?
he started wrestling on the Highway 10 corridor in Minnesota, which is now one of the major wrestling-focused, centralized places for the best wrestlers in Minnesota.
Wow.
With the exception of Apple Valley, and some big schools. It's a small area.
Uh-huh.
And he really brought wrestling to this area of Minnesota, and he's in the Hall of Fame for coaching. And
Fantastic.
yeah, so I'm a wrestler. We have quite a few jokes about basketball players, the whole deal. In high school,
Yeah.
and Corey and Greg are going to, if they hear this, they hopefully won't. They were the captains of the basketball team,
Okay.
and Mark Windham and I were the captains of the wrestling team.
Uh-huh.
Well, we played the basketball players on 2-on-2, and we beat them.
In basketball?
In basketball
Uh-huh.
and wrestling. So,
Ah.
wrestling is a core, all-around physical activity that I've been brought up in.
I feel like we should send this to them.
No.
No, we should not send this to them because it is too soon,
It's too soon.
even though it's
Yeah.
clear that you graduated high school many years ago.
In Perham, and you guys can check that out. Perham.
Perham,
Perham, Minnesota.
Minnesota. As a Jew, I know what that means.
I don't even know. What
Yeah,
that
well, you
means.
don't look Jewish.
I'm
so.
not very Jewish.
No, not very Jewish, exactly. We're all a little
A
Jewish.
little Jewish.
Exactly.
Checkbook.
All right, so Larry Mullins,
What
he's
does Perham mean, first of all?
well, it's a holiday.
No. Oh, really?
Yeah, we don't have to get into that,
Okay.
but you can look it up.
I'm sure.
Yeah. So Larry Mullins, he's a wrestler. He brings wrestling to Minnesota. Then he becomes this kind of Hall of Fame coach for the college or for
High school wrestling.
Okay.
He was the first recruitee to North Dakota State. They recruited him to wrestle, so he was the first guy on a scholarship.
wow.
He's a legend back in Perm,
I love it.
which is a holiday.
Yeah, indeed.
So
Now you know.
yeah.
All right. So Larry then starts bringing up Anthony, and then when did you realize that you were being raised by a wrestling coach?
Oh, jeez. I was like 4. I hated it. I never liked it. I hated it. Go out on the mat, get beat up. The first tournament I went to, I'm sitting out there. I'm a nice little kid. I'm 6 years old. I don't know. And this huge dude with curly hair comes up. He just punches me in the stomach. I never seen like he just walks up and punches me in the stomach. I never liked it. And then I got good, and then it was well, juice,
It was better once you
turned
were
it
good.
around. Oh, then it was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then I really jumped into the whole
So high school, did you do it in college as well?
high school. Yeah, and then I went to college, wrestled in college.
Where'd you go?
Coached a little bit. Augsburg.
Where is that?
It's in Minneapolis.
Okay. All right, so you're a Minnesota guy.
Minnesota until my sophomore year. Then I moved out east, went to school out east.
Where?
Steubenville, Ohio.
You don't like big schools.
I love big schools.
What-
That's where I used to go hang out and talk to girls. And
Well, where's Steubenville?
Steubenville. It's west of Pittsburgh.
This is the high school or the college?
College.
Okay.
Yeah. But Steubenville, interesting enough, is It's the town in America where the most professional athletes come out of.
Oh, wow.
Steubenville, Ohio.
Huh.
And that's where I went to college. The Franciscan University of Steubenville. It's one of the top. There's like two really huge Catholic colleges in the country.
Okay.
And my mom got all four of us to go there for at least a year.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
And so we've got guilt in common, so that's good.
Yes.
And how many people could possibly go to Steubenville, though?
I don't know.
I'm saying you said you like big colleges, but that doesn't seem like it's a big one.
It's small.
So where did you go to is it close to the Ohio State?
No.
What big school is it close to? I'm checking your story.
PU.
Okay, Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I worked in Robinson Town Center.
Uh-huh.
That's where I worked when I wasn't at Steubenville.
Okay.
But I really just ditched school a lot there.
Uh-huh.
And I started snowboarding.
Now we're getting somewhere.
And then I got to Colorado.
Uh-huh. All right, wait a second.
Yeah.
I feel like you skipped like 20 years.
I'm trying to skip a lot.
So snowboarding when you were still of college age.
I started in Steubenville.
Okay. And then was your wrestling coach very unappreciative?
Didn't wrestle in Steubenville.
Oh, you didn't? You stopped?
I was done with wrestling.
Why?
Cutting weight.
Why?
Just over it. The college wrestling scene for me just changed. I went from a small town where the whole town showed up, and I was the champion.
Right.
And then I go to college, and you got 40 people show up,
right?
And nobody really cares except for you, and you really had to have the heart in it, and it was gone for me. I cut weight for way too long.
Yeah.
I should be like 5 inches taller.
Yeah, so should I. But
right?
and I never cut weight.
You
didn't cut
weight.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you kind of were done with it. What does Larry Mullins say though when you're like, Dad, I'm done?
No.
Devastated?
I'm still in. Even last year, I've been spending time in Hawaii, and I coached the wrestling team in Hawaii last
year. Oh, you did?
Year. Yeah, my son, who's 7.
Oh boy.
Now he was 6 then. I coached my son.
There you go.
First year, so proud. He got his medal. For just participation. He was a participant.
And he's fine.
And he stood there, and he buffed his arms out. He's standing chin up, chest out. He was proud. So it was great. I'm still involved.
I feel like the child that I saw was not 7.
That one was almost 2, yeah. No, I'm, wow. 7, 4, 2, and 1 on the way.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
That's a lot of children.
It is a lot.
Yeah. Do we know if the child on the way is going to be a boy or a girl?
The child on the way is going to be beautiful. That's all we know.
That's all we care about.
That's all we care about.
So we got the boy, we got the girl, we got the one on the way, and then what's the kind of middle one, I guess?
The middle one is Rosalind Autumn, and she is a wonderful blonde-haired, curly-haired.
Yeah.
She is her own. She's going to rule things.
2 facts about me. My niece has curly hair like that, and I grew up in a town called Rosalind.
Get out of here.
Look at that.
It's meant to be.
It is. So, all right. So you're snowboarding now, right? And you quit.
Colorado. I started smoking marijuana.
Oh, I've heard of this. All right. So we should start focusing on this. So you, in college, obviously.
At Augsburg. Did smoke. Never smoked through high school. And you know what's funny is they have those groups in high school, like DARE. I don't know what they all are, but they wouldn't even let me in. And I never even...
Like the good people.
The good people wouldn't let me in.
They knew something was up.
They were my friends, but I never, I didn't do anything. So,
they knew something was up.
So I'm college, sophomore year, still had never smoked marijuana. Go to Wisconsin. Cross the border.
Sure.
And,
I don't think that's a Wisconsin.
That was Jersey.
Yeah, exactly. Or no, I think Boston.
I wouldn't try to speak like a Wisconsin person.
But you go across the border and...
Go to a show, festival.
Which one?
I don't know. X-Fest or something like that.
Well, how old are you?
I was 20.
Okay. And you're about 40 now.
You're horrible.
Why?
No, I'm not.
You're not.
40.
You're young.
I'm 38.
Oh.
Not even close.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. All right, so you go to the festival.
32.
All of a sudden, here's cannabis as an adult
Someone
use product.
shows up.
Yeah.
And I was upset that they were smoking cannabis in my campground, in my site.
Yeah.
And I threw them out in sort of an aggressive fashion.
In a wrestler kind of way.
Right. The next day, I smoked weed for the first time.
How did that happen?
Ooh, flip. Here I go. I just turned around and started walking the other way.
Well, what? There must be a woman involved, I would imagine.
No. I don't. I think I was just sick of being hypocritical.
Yeah.
Of just speaking on something I knew nothing about, and everybody's just whatever.
24 hours later, boom.
Done.
So, and did you have? Were you at one with Cannabis?
Immediately.
Okay.
Immediately.
And did you see that? Now we're talking about roughly 18 years ago, not 20. Apologize. 16 years ago. Excuse me.
18.
18. Okay. Whatever. Right.
12. If you talk about what I look like.
Sure. Yeah.
So,
okay. Good. And we're good there on the numbers.
32, 12, 18, 38.
So did you know then that might be something that you wanted to do? No, because there wasn't an industry, right?
No. I grew up in a small town. I worked on my grandpa and uncle's farm.
Yeah.
Concrete, whatever. It just wasn't. That was. If my folks knew that I would that would have been it. So but they cut me off anyway. They got divorced.
Oh boy!
For some reason, all my loans went to me and all that. Anyway.
Okay.
So,
but conservative folks, nonetheless, no question.
Very conservative.
Got it. And so, did they know now what you do?
Oh yeah. I'm not one to hide or.
Good.
I'll tell you what I'm doing and who I am.
I gotcha. Well, let's take the leap because what are you doing?
I am very involved now. It sort of progressively grew from Colorado, starting to snowboard more, smoke weed, have fun, or whatever. And then I moved to California because they had the medical program since '96. And so I wanted to get a medical card in California, grow some medical marijuana. And then I opened a medical club is what I always called it. I guess dispensaries, the best.
NorCal, SoCal, where?
Lake Tahoe.
Okay.
We were the first dispensary club in Truckee, and it was a delivery service. Tahoe Herbal Care, and please check out the reviews on Tahoe Herbal Care. We amazing quality of bud. The way that we ran it, and the vendors that would come to me, the product that we had was just top notch, always.
Okay.
And I nurtured the relationship with all of these vendors and cultivators or whoever that came in, and now I've since moved to Colorado 2 years ago, handing over the nonprofit to some good people who are running it now, and.
Why the change there? It seems like you had a good business.
The black and white, California. You never know.
Right.
It's up to interpretation. If you may never have to deal with anything.
Yeah.
And when I opened my collective, I went to the sheriff, I went to the police, I went to the town.
Right.
I wanted to be upfront with everybody, and it was still just a real gray area. So I'm out.
It still is a gray area.
It still is, but maybe...
AB 266.
Hey,
here we come.
I'm coming right back. I'm really hopeful for what California can do.
I think we all are. We've got, 40% of Americans are, on the ballot or have an initiative going for 2016.
Right.
That's a lot.
And the thing is with marijuana, medical marijuana, if you say medical marijuana, there is no medicinal use, then you got your head in the sand. This will never go away. Medicinal marijuana is the future of medicine.
Yeah.
So
take us through maybe a couple patient stories because you are speaking as though you know. So
I know.
Some patient stories from Tahoe.
Opening the collective, first it was sort of, I've just morphed into a new thought process on cannabis, and marijuana, however you want to say it.
Yeah.
Originally, I'm in cannabis because I grow the best weed. My friends and I, we all grow the best weed.
Right.
And then it turned into people that were coming to the collective. Do you have this? Does it help this? So, well, I don't know. I guess I better start researching.
Yeah.
And through my research to find out what would help people, what they were asking for, and then giving it to them, and then calling back and crying, breaking down on the phone. We'd meet people, and they'd say, I am now off these 17 pills that I took one, which gave me a side effect, so I needed another. And then I had another side effect, took another.
Yeah.
Now they just cannabis. I have family that have Crohn's disease, that have Lyme's disease. I have family that have everybody has different sorts of medical issues. And cannabis is the one thing that's helping all of them. Their intake of horrible pills or everything that they would take before to try to cure their symptoms or help them out, now they're using cannabis.
Yeah.
And they tell me, you've saved my life. You've ended my dependency on these things that made me feel worse,
Yeah.
that wrecked my mood, my attitude, my body. Now they're doing something that the only side effect might be happiness or sleep. There are other, of course, hypertension or a few things that can happen, but I am now very passionate about what I'm currently doing, which we haven't even gotten to yet.
Yeah, we're going to get there in a second. I just want to kind of, I think I've said this once or twice. I was in Medicine Man in Colorado, and Pete Williams is standing there with a patient, and we're just kind of talking, and he asked her about a new strain, and she asked her if she tried it, and she said yes. And Pete, I'll tell you, I haven't had a seizure in 48 hours. And to hear someone say that in front, like actually in person, not secondhand like this, it's unbelievable.
It changes. You are all of a sudden willing to stand up and fight, and you are willing to be the line. It stops right here.
Yeah. And the other thing is the Colorado Medical Board hearing on PTSD, which failed. I did read that. I did. Well, I did read today. I think that there's the Senate passed a bill. I've got to double check that, but that PTSD is it's okay for veterans to use cannabis.
If a veteran goes to the VA hospital and tests positive for marijuana, they lose all of their...
I think that changed today, but I don't know that. I think I read an article, but I'm going to double check it.
And call me back.
Indeed. And this is November 10th of 2015 because we're saying today. And happy birthday to your lovely wife who I had the pleasure of meeting. But in that hearing, you had veterans getting up in suit and tie with their families and saying, I'm not sitting here right now without cannabis. I'm an animal without cannabis.
Yeah.
So whatever, it's amazing. So so you got to move because you have the kids. So you go to Colorado and
we buy some land and build my dream facility of sorts. As I've progressed in the cultivation and the construction of all the different facilities I've built, from underground buildings to warehouse styles to greenhouse to garage to closet. Whatever it may be, I've worked with the guys that I have that I've met owning the collective, and just coming together to say, listen, pesticides not necessary.
Right.
Nutrients out of the store and jugs not necessary. There's a permacultural style to growing, which is all natural. We can set the bar here and have a product that is medicinal and actually have it grown naturally so that it is healthy for you.
So just get into the conceptually, if you will, permaculture versus adding what you can buy in a store, just at a base level.
A lot of times in the store, the products you'll buy, have what we're using in them. Mm-hmm. So if you buy something in the store, it'll have nitrogen and calcium and whatever in it to help your plants grow. Mm-hmm. So we'll go ahead and just take the plant. We grow them in the greenhouse alongside our other plants, and we'll chop branches off, throw them in blenders, take 3 or 4 different things, blend it all up, throw it in a tea bag. It goes in the built-in resi. It brews for a night, and that's what we feed our plants. There's different natural plants that you can use that will deter, keep bugs away, will fight powdery mildew if you have a problem with your atmosphere. There's just a natural solution to all the problems that would be for growing.
Fair enough. I appreciate it. Love it. I got 2 problems. One is it's got to cost a ton.
Right.
And 2 is it's got to take a ton of time.
So 1, it costs nothing.
Why? What do you mean? Because you're just growing plants.
It's the initial setup.
Right. Okay.
It is an upfront cost. You pay one time. The buildings that we create now are designed so that once you build it and you put whatever you need in it, nothing else comes in that facility except for water. Our soil, we work with Build a Soil, is out of Colorado. There's a couple of places, Oregon, California. the soils that we use are designed for this purpose, so that you don't need to buy stuff to bring in.
Yeah.
You can grow it in your greenhouse right with the other plants. And some of the plants you grow, like marigold, we're giving marigold seed packets away.
Like marigolds, like the little
The
yellow.
little flowers.
Yeah.
Those attract aphids. They also are high in nitrogen.
Uh-huh.
So you can use these plants. You can cut them, chop them up, brew them, make a tea.
Yeah.
Just having it in your greenhouse keeps other things away from your plants if you have a problem, which you shouldn't have a problem, hopefully.
Got it.
But
So it's an upfront cost of getting all this stuff in there, but there's an upfront cost of putting together a grow anyway.
And the shocking part is, so I've been looking at different types of grows everywhere and what people are doing now large scale. And our facility, a grogeo building, is actually less expensive to build and outfit than what I've seen.
Okay.
And I'm not going to say all or a percentage because I don't know.
Whatever.
But when I'm looking at the price per square foot for our cost to build these buildings and then have it be sustainable, it's right there. It's even better in a lot of cases.
All right, so we're on a sustainability. You're proving that because you're cutting up marigolds for cripe's sake.
Yeah,
That's with a P, by the way. Cripe's sake, so we don't offend anybody.
Hungry.
Yeah. But what about the time? That's got to take 8 times as much time, right? To like grow this and cut this up and put it in the
it's
thing.
so rad because imagine, okay, you're going to drive to the store or have it delivered.
Yeah.
Then you've got your cartons, your product waste.
Mm-hmm.
We're really trying to work in a permacultural style.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we're not completely permaculture, and we're not even allowed to, because in a permaculture way, you use your gray water. You recycle every single thing you have. We have built-in amendment areas in the building. Worm composting. I'm sorry, I just lost my train of thought.
No, that's fine. You lost it at worm compost.
Yeah, no, there's compost and there's worm castings. That's the word.
Okay.
Compost and casting.
Yes.
They roll over each other.
Indeed.
So, point me in the right direction again. Here.
So you're talking about, because we were talking about sustainability.
Okay, in the waste. So when you're bringing products in, you're spending the time and the money, which time is your money.
Right.
So now you're spending extra money, which is extra time, to get nutrients, to bring them in, to mix them, to do whatever. When we do it in our facility, we're right there. We chop it.
Yeah.
It goes in the blender. We hit the button, throw in a tea bag, it's in. It takes less time.
Because you're right there
saves
anyway.
money. And we don't buy it because you're there anyway.
Yeah.
You have to still go put it in your reservoir.
Let alone the gas and the carbon footprint from the car or truck going to the thing, coming back, whatever.
Amen.
All right.
Prius.
Absolutely. I'm taking notes. All right. So we've got this essentially permaculture thing. And so how does this work? Also
really focused.
Okay. And you said I have to bring in water. How come I don't have to bring in lights?
Why would you bring in lights? That's
I don't. So because I'll cheat a little bit. Downstairs, you kind of said, if I think I heard you right, it's kind of like a football field in the ground, like somewhat underground.
It is.
All right.
We are a hybrid warehouse or hybrid greenhouse.
Yeah.
We are underground, and we use the natural energies the earth gives us. So it's our first building, which we just constructed, is roughly a football field, 8 feet underground.
Yeah.
And we're using the geothermal properties. We're using geomass, solar mass. We're using just natural elements to be able to control your environment correctly all year. And we obviously use the sun. So we're bringing our little slogan, grogeo, bringing the sun indoors. So we control the environment completely. And basically, I've been sort of researching and studying, and having built so many different styles. And then the last couple of years, looking at the people that I was working with and the styles that they grew and the sustainability factor. And knowing, okay, cannabis is starting to go mainstream. It's being accepted everywhere. And medical will not go back. So what are we going to do going forward? We know the price it's got to go down eventually. It's really bouncing around because of different legislation with microbial testing and the different things that are happening in states.
Mm-hmm.
So the price is actually it's staying pretty high, but in my mind, it's a bubble. It's going to come down. And when it comes down, who's going to be able to stay in the market?
Mm.
And those are the people producing a certain quality and for a certain price.
Yep.
Of course.
Sure.
So that's why we've come up with this facility.
And so just to go back to it, you're bringing the sun indoors.
Yes.
And so there is no top, or is there?
There is a top,
Yeah.
and the construction of the top and the way that all works, you must use light deprivation in order to sort of manipulate the plants. The special glass that we use. There are fans. We do have a bunch of fans.
I was going to ask you about that. Yeah.
And we use the ground to not only moderate the temperature, but also to dehumidify the air. There's a bunch of different ways to work the earth. Work with the earth to manage your atmosphere inside our building.
Okay.
And for the last 2.5, 3 years, that's what we've been looking at. I've been going to workshops in the middle of nowhere or in the cities and looking at Chinese technology versus Australian, India, and looking at places in Minnesota and looking at all these different styles and types of growing facilities.
Mm-hmm.
And the majority of the growing facilities, if you just look up greenhouse or growing or whatever, I'd say, I don't know, but 80 to 90% are cold frame greenhouses, which were designed to grow in the summer.
Yeah.
So what about the year-round grower?
Mm-hmm.
What about someone that doesn't want the temperature fluctuations even in the summer?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody that wants a building that stays this temperature, this humidity, this airflow.
Do you mean everybody?
Everybody.
That's who would want that.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
So, but where is this transformation from? I feel like I understand the transformation from a 6-year-old wrestler to college non-wrestler to snowboarder to Californian, dispensary owner, and then. But where is because you are all the way in on sustainability. When did that become such a hypersensitive thing for you?
You're not going to believe this, but I am completely allergic to marijuana.
That's okay. Take me through this. How did we?
So 11 years ago when I started, I got my medical card, started growing. I used products that weren't natural and organic. I went hydroponically. I pump them up. The California, Schwarzenegger those buds up.
Sure.
So over time, being that close and in contact, I think with these chemicals, I started to develop a reaction. And now, I can tell you how a plant was grown. If I can go in a room and smell or feel it, if it touches my arm, I'll break out in hives. I'm actually allergic to the chemicals that marijuana is grown with.
So wait, so that's
and marijuana.
How do we know that you're allergic to marijuana?
If I walk into a room of marijuana, this test is still out.
Yeah.
The test is out. But if I'll walk into a room with flowering buds and a leaf touches my arm, I will break out in hives.
Even sustainably grown? Or we don't know yet?
Not as bad, but yes. There are certain
still.
strains that really get me.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
It's crazy.
When did you notice that? When you said you were smoking a little bit?
4 years ago, it started to happen. And, and this is kind of the development of where I'm at now.
Yeah.
Because pretty soon, now I can't do the growing.
Right.
So I started the collective. I started to bring people in. I had satellite operations that we were doing that could do the work that I could not, which brought me to the point where now I wasn't doing so much growing. I was just doing a lot of building and construction and design. And so for the last 6 years, that's all I've really been doing is designing different styles of grows and buildings.
It's amazing because you're forced into being a good leader that delegates because you have to.
Right. It's horrible.
No, but I mean, it's a trick in and of itself. Wow. I want to talk to you more about, as you go with the sustainability, as you prove this more and more with more and more buildings, if that kind of subsides or if it sticks around.
I don't imagine that it will.
That's so strange.
But it's a severe reaction if. So I used GH, and I shouldn't say that, but GH products are horrible for me.
For you,
Blood
is what we
will
have
come
to say.
out of my nose.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
blood comes out of my nose, break out in hives, I itch all over, cough, sneeze, nonstop.
Huh.
So
Is that why we went with GG?
Yeah, we're GG, not GH.
Because you got the hat, you got the the kind of sweater thing.
This new logo, the grogeo, we cut out the whole word.
Yeah.
And just went GG.
I like it.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's got the line in the middle. It's
my
nice.
brother-in-law actually.
And what I'm asking for is some marketing material that I can wear.
You got it. It's coming to you. You don't look like a hat guy. You got such beautiful hair.
I think so, yes, and thank you for noticing.
Yeah.
I do show this to all my buddies that are my same age.
Show them your hair?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. They used to make fun of it being curly, and now I just say, well, it's still here.
Right.
So, but anyway, that's just for my friends. It's not for
love to
inside
give
the
you some swag.
bubble. Okay, great.
We don't grow swag, but we
market with it.
Right.
All right, so we've got the sustainability thing. You have one in Colorado, and that is a test facility, or is that for a client?
It is complicated.
A little of both. Yeah, a little of both.
It's now complete, and we are finally, we have plants in there. It really didn't take that long.
Yeah.
From construction to finish, we started May 25th. In 4 months and 5 days, we had our CO. And that's pretty, in my mind, I guess, pretty good.
Absolutely. And then when's harvest?
Harvest will be, I'll give you the range.
Yeah, sure.
It'll be in between the middle of January and the middle of February.
Yeah.
But we do a perpetual harvest. So we do year-round growing. And once there's sections in the building. So the grogeo facility has sections.
Sure.
Each section has soil, an area which is hidden. You don't even see it.
Right.
Because every square inch is used for growing.
Uh-huh.
But there's bins that are for soil. There's bins that are for worm castings. There's amendment bins, and then there's a water bin.
Mm-hmm.
And each section is designed to be sustainable for everything in that section. And there's 9 sections. So every week we have a section comes down and gets refilled. So it's just a nonstop, every week, section, perpetual style.
Consistent
Grow.
And then how consistent is your yield?
It's incredible. Like I said, from the club in California, the relationships I've made with the cultivators, since I was no longer able to grow, that was very important to me. And if you look at the reviews when I had the collective, and I haven't seen that, they're probably still really good, but the reviews will say, I've traveled around the world, and this is the best marijuana I've ever seen.
Oh, wow.
And we had, we tried to carry between 15 and 31 flavors. 31 of the best looking buds.
Isn't that Baskin Robbins?
Right? That was our deal. So we had 32 because we wanted to be
cut that guy out.
Cut him out. But the guys in Northern California, like it or not, they've been growing weed up there for a long
Generations.
time. And they got it down.
Oh, yeah.
And so those are the guys that I've sort of had and worked with to say, okay, what is the perfect building?
Yeah.
We got warehouses, people are blowing out lights. You can grow incredible weed in there. You sure can.
Absolutely.
Greenhouses, you can grow incredible weed. And even the guys in NorCal, I'm talking to you, I can tell if it's greenhouse grown. I don't care what you say.
Right.
But this is indoor weed.
Yeah.
But we use the sun.
Right.
We use the earth. We use all the natural energies, as many as we can anyway, to grow the best weed you could ever imagine in the most sustainable way.
Right.
Because it's actually cost effective.
Yeah.
But we're producing the best product on the planet. I want to.
I got you. About 10,000 square feet.
Right.
And then I have to do one. Can I do many?
One.
Of the 10,000 kind of footprint things?
Oh, no. There's multiple designs. 10,000 just was the first one.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It doesn't have to be.
No. The next one that I'm drawing up now is actually it's like an 80,000 square foot facility.
Okay.
And that would run, and they all run the same. So we have a 10,000 square foot facility. It could run on a 20 amp breaker. if we didn't have the dang the camera system is
Oh,
outrageous.
sure, security.
The security in the camera system and all the backup batteries and everything.
That's awesome.
That is so dang ridiculous. If
You gotta have it.
If it weren't for that, the building could run on a 20 amp breaker.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's crazy. All right, so you're working on an 80. I mean, if we're November 2015, let's say 6 months from now, May 2016, where do you expect to be as far as what you're finding, what you're doing, all that?
I'm ready for V2, and with Nevada, California coming up and starting to get their crap together.
Yeah.
That's
And by that you mean regulations.
Right. Finally. I'm really interested in promoting this style. I want to make the green industry greener. This is the greenest industry. Let's actually be green.
So Jesse Horton from Panacea Valley in Oregon is an old energy guy, and we are working with him to try to kind of spread some knowledge into the industry on being more sustainable, because not being sustainable just isn't sustainable.
Amen.
So you kind of want to spread that word, basically.
Let's spread the word, and the only way to really spread it and have it hold is to make it financially sound. And so we're going to make it so that people not only will want to do this, but they're going to be forced to do this.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to change and start doing things in a sustainable manner if you want to be able to continue in this industry.
Well, even compete is really your point. Yeah, compete, let alone, hey, do nice things for the earth. Also your bottom line.
And the deal is there's niche markets where you have to have this quality.
Yeah.
And that's where people have fallen short. Outdoor, come on. I'm not hating on the outdoor growers.
No,
That's great.
I do want to say that these are your opinions and your opinions.
These are all my opinions.
Exactly.
Only and it's just my pitch.
Indeed.
but I actually will trade. I always traded my indoor for outdoor because the indoor is way too strong. I really like a smooth, gentle.
Oh, so you weren't saying a negative thing about the outdoor guys?
No,
Yeah.
I'm all for it. I don't know, low tolerance.
And I think they like to be called sun-grown now.
Sun-grown.
There we
exactly.
go.
Well, we are sun-grown.
Indeed.
But
Well, you're
we are
bringing the sun indoors.
That's right.
I like it. All right, so we've come to the three final questions. I mean, we could go all night, but let's just do the three final questions. I'm going to tell you what they are, and then I'm going to ask them one by one. So the three final questions are: what has most surprised you in cannabis? What has most surprised you in life? And then the final question might be the toughest, might be the easiest. On your soundtrack of life, name one song, name one track. So first things first, what has most surprised you in cannabis?
How something that I used to enjoy turned into something that I would stand up and fight for.
That's very well put. What does Coach say about that?
They're coming.
They're coming along?
Yeah.
Slowly but surely.
Slowly but surely.
Baby
I'm not sure.
steps.
My mom, I'm not sure if she's there yet, but
Oh, Dad's further along than Mom. Interesting.
it's very interesting, actually. Yes.
What has most surprised you in life?
I would say my kids have surprised me by opening up my heart like I never thought it could be.
That's a beautiful thing. I'm serious. And finally, and this might be the toughest one, it might be the easiest one, and you're starting to tear up, you bastard.
No,
So am
I'm
I.
not.
Oh, you're not? That's just, okay. Maybe that's some product from earlier. Or no, you're allergic.
I'm allergic. No, I still dabble in sun-grown
Uh-huh.
in a weak variety. I smoke joint. I'm a joint guy.
It's old school.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm 32 or 8.
or whatever it was, yeah.
Not
Exactly. Definitely not 40.
No.
On the soundtrack of your life.
That's right.
Yeah.
Soundtrack. You know what?
Yeah.
And this might not go with the question, but
Yeah.
when I think about a song that really gets me, that I love, and that's what I want to hear, it's Cypress Hill, I'm a Rock Star.
So why is that not what I want to hear?
I don't know. But I
We both grew up in the 90s. We both remember Cypress Hill.
Guy. I don't know if I can say this, but the weed that I grew way back medicinally, and I know that Cypress Hill managed to get some of that.
There we go. And I know that through their art.
Right.
Anthony, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
All right.
Anthony Mollins, officially the first guest with a parent in the Wrestling Hall of Fame. Interesting guy, interesting way that we met. Thought we had to do it, and it turned out all right. So let's see where his whole business goes. Certainly different way of looking at it. You know, we bring the sun indoors.